Alright, back to you guys. First off, pink game coming up next Tuesday, just to give you guys the reminder of that one. It'll be Tuesday, it's the evening. If you wear pink to school, that gets us the house point for each kid that does it. And then if you go to the game that night, then we get a point again for that. I'll be there that night checking off people, so make sure you come see me at some point and I check you off. And then throughout the day, I'll check you off and then you'll be good to go from there. Higgs?
Does shoe count? Do shoes count?
It'd probably be more than just shoes, unless you're like
I know the
really
shoes, socks,
dedicated
pants,
shoes.
and shirt.
And then if you wear pink socks, then it have to be like big obvious pink socks, and make sure that you know you're.
And
Like,
pink
what
face.
if the shoes are like?
And then just make sure you know you're not talking out loud, nonstop, burning through all over your face.
If you have breast cancer elite socks, can you wear those?
Yes, that'd be fine.
What if your shirt wasn't pink, it was white, and it said breast cancer on it?
You'd be fine. Jose.
Are they gonna be like selling the shirts there, like breast cancer shirts?
No, they've already sold them. I think we're done doing it. Free age.
I make a big pink beard.
And Higgs.
What if the pink is like that color?
That's fine, that's pink. You just pointed to pink. Back to our poem!
Yeah.
Special children. Unless you're pointing to my red shirt, that wouldn't be pink. I thought you were pointing to like a pink thing. So here, let's see, we got through, I think, the third stanza with you guys, so we're going to do the speedy to get you up to that point. The poem starts off, it was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden loved, you may know by the name of Annabel, and this maiden she lived with her father, loved her. First off, where's our poem taking place? Forbes?
A kingdom by the sea.
Kingdom and by the sea. By the sea. And where, not where, when is our poem taking place? Maya? Many and many a year ago. And I mentioned yesterday this was an allusion, a reference to another type of story that you guys have heard. And how is it working as a reference when it says it was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea? Andrew?
Reference to the fairy tale Once Upon a Time.
Nice one. I'm supposed to make you think of fairy tales and the Once Upon a Time and happy stories of princesses and dragons and princes and fun stuff like that. And then we have two characters in our poem, Dougie. And who are our two characters in the poem?
Annabel Lee.
Yes.
And
the other one's a little tougher.
Dude.
Works for me. We'll call him Dude. Who does it ever. And once again, it's not Edgar. It's Edgar Allan Poe. It's not Edgar Allan Poe. Just because it doesn't have a name doesn't mean that the poet becomes the speaker. He's just writing as random, anonymous person that's unhappy. And how, McLean, how is it that Dude and Annabel Lee feel about each other? Love each other. Otherwise known as liking to the third power. And so they're very fond of each other and dream about each other and love. Which brings us to the second stanza, more love. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. What are seraphs? Three names?
Like the grandmother of all little baby angels.
Works for me. The grand body of angels, the very top one. Supposedly, in angel lore, they're formed of actual love. You are formed of human bits, like organs and blood and skin. Angels were actually made of love. You were like to take love and like squish it together, it would out pops a seraph. And so they were the highest level. They had never been human. They were always lovey loved. And that's where coveting comes in. And what does it mean if you covet what someone else has? Mickey?
You like envy, whatever that was.
Envy? And what does envy mean?
So like,
You don't know. If you envy someone else's stuff,
you like.
make it? No. But a good try. Daughtery?
You is jelly.
Nicely. You wish jelly.
You is jelly.
Nicely done. And what does it mean to be jelly?
Well, it means to be jealous.
Good. And what does it mean to be jealous?
Well, jealous means that you want to take that.
Nicely done. That you want to take what they have. Much like most of the teachers in this building covet my mad teaching skills. Because I teach the skills with a Z in the stout on many levels. Three names?
Can you become an angel later in life?
Sure, but first step is dying, and very few want to commit to that.
Darn it.
Good luck. But there when it says, I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, referring to how old they are. They're old enough to fall in love and go, I love you, but young enough for their parents to make fun of them. How old is that, Forbes?
Like 18.
Works for me. Somewhere in the teenagery age, the 18-ish, something like that. And then it finds out we go through the love ladder as we go through and do it. You have the basic levels. You go ahead and put the pass over there, Sophia, on my desk.
Okay.
There you go. And then you have the different levels of love as you go through it. The most basic level of love is that you and your brothers and sisters, and then your friends, and your parents, and that special someone, and then that special someone you spend forever with, and then their love is even higher than that, and they spit on your love because their love is that high. Their love is so high that just looking at each other and thinking happy thoughts causes the little heart bubbles to appear above their head, which is a beautiful thing. Except these heart bubbles going up and popping in the air attracts the attention of someone. And Maze, who does it attract the attention of? Nicely done. And that's where our angels come in. And realize these angels who are up there just flying around doing angel-y things, and these heart bubbles popping in front of them. The angels that are created out of love, they are made of love, are jealous of the love that Annabel, Lee, and Dude have, because their love is so strong. The seraphs are like, I'm made of pure love. And this heart bubble goes, better than you, better than you. And they're like, what? No, humans with stronger love. And that's when all of a sudden these seraphs begin to feel this emotion they've never felt before. And that's where they get jealous. And when you get jealous and can't get what you want, how does it make you feel?
Angry.
Like a mother.
These angels get all angry and go growl, grr, grr. And then something exciting happens. For us, not for her. And that was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, that our highborn kinsman came and bore her away from me to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The big words kinsman, what does kinsman mean? Nice one. Relatives and family. Her kinsmen are highborn. So what kind of family does she have if they're highborn kinsmen? Yeah?
King and queen.
Nice one. Some kind of fancy royalty, king and queenie, or at least rich. And then we had a sepulcher, which is a synonym for a word that we've already had. And what would a sepulcher be, Bratton? Here's a hint. It's a synonym for one of our vocab words from Unit 1. You're right, it does deal with death. Nicely done.
Oh.
We did get it from Caterpillar. You're correct.
Hey, no.
It did begin with M and end with mausoleum. Nicely done, mausoleum. What was the mausoleum?
Like an above ground burial.
And that's going to play a big role in this poem, the above ground burial thing. A sepulcher is the same thing as an above ground burial, the same thing as a mausoleum. So if we find out that our girl, Annabel Lee, her family came and stuck her into a sepulcher, what can we deduce, using our special thinking, has happened to her? Free H?
Die.
Nicely done. Or she has the worst parents ever when they ground her. To your sepulcher! And that's just creepy if your parents do
Or
that.
her
But,
parents killed her.
or their parents, oh goodness gracious, parents are not bad people. But, what is it that did kill her? If she is now dead and no longer with us, according to the poem, what has made her cease to live? Jose?
Wait, who killed her?
I'm asking what killed her.
Oh, the angels.
That's a who?
The...
Use the poem. The poem tells us
Oh,
information.
okay, the
Sepulcher? That's what she goes into when
I
she's
know,
dead.
but... it's
The seraphs?
Yeah.
Those are the angels still. That's still the who. Jordan?
The love.
Not the love. That was the reason why. Sophia?
The wind.
The wind. How does wind kill her?
It says
blow and pick her up and throw her in.
Oh,
And that's where you have the cloud chilling, the wind blew out of the cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee. So that's where you have to realize this wind was blowing back, and it's blowing, and that's, Mr. Brovicast, how's that going to make you die? Well, here's my quick creative interpretation. I can't guarantee it's right, this is my way of going through and reading it, is that I'm guessing you have Dude and Annabel Lee. And they're probably, wait, how old are they again?
18.
Yeah,
14.
late teenagers. And as we know, teenagers never make mistakes. And so there's probably, if it's cold wind, we're looking at, I don't know, late October, November, maybe February, March. and they decide to go for a walk along the beach. Mama and Papa Lee go, hey, if you're going out, wear a jacket, it's cold. And of course, the big teenagers go, no, we're not going to wear jackets because Dude loves me. And Dude's like, my love will keep you warm. And he puts his arm around her, and out they go along the beach, and the cold wind blows off the ocean. She's like, Dude, I'm cold. He's like, yes, all right, baby. My love will keep you warm. And he puts his arm around her as they keep on walking. And he's like, I love you. She's like, I love you. No, really, I'm getting cold. He's like, I'll just love you even more. She's like, that's so romantic. And the wind blows again. He's like, no, I'm really getting kind of sick out here. It's not feeling very well. He's like, I really love you. She's like, oh, oops. And she falls off. Once again, mind creative interpretation. But somewhere along the line of them going out, being deeply in love, and her getting cold, and then when she's cold, she falls down and dies. Now, from the cold wind, she's no longer with us, and so now that she's dead, where does her family put her?
In the sepulcher.
That's going to play a big role coming up, that she is in an above-ground burial place. Remember that. And that's where this above-ground burial place thing comes in. But it turns out, we don't have all the information. It wasn't an accident that she died. It was murder.
Wow!
My mother. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. So here he's saying that it was not an accident. Someone sent the wind to kill his woman. And according to him, who's responsible for the wind? Were they?
The angels.
That's where the angels come in. He says it wasn't an accident that she died. The angels did it out of jealousy. And the angels were sitting up there doing their little wing flap thing like, oh, those horrible humans down there with their love. We're going to have to get rid of one of them. And so the angels flap their little wings and assassinate them. And like that. And the wind goes, and kills her. And down she goes.
Well, Mr. Brovicast, if the angels were going to kill her, why wouldn't they just kill both of them?
Good question. Because the angels are horrible, devious, evil creatures. And they realize they can't kill them both. Because if they kill both of them, that goes against the angels' plan. Why would killing both of them not fix everything? Dougie?
Because they're both going to be dead.
Nicely done. They would both die and go up to heaven together and both become angels. And then they would have angel love plus their human love. And they become like angel superheroes and fight crime. So the angels are like, we can't have that. So the angels decide we can only kill one of them. So the angels take their little wings and go and kill off one. Now she's dead. He's still alive.
But Mr. Brovicast, why can't he just join her?
Well, because if she died, she goes up. But if he kills himself, where does he go?
Down.
The other way. Once again, the angels win.
That's what Romeo and Juliet did.
The angels, and they get all excited. And so that's why, once again, you find out the fact that the angels, find out that the angels are evil, horrible, despicable things that plotted against them. The problem is, and here's where we get to our little part in parentheses. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by this. He's going around telling everyone angels killed his woman. Realize he's some 18-year-old dude going, the angels killed her. The angels killed her. They came out of the night and they just shot her down. The angels did it. They killed her. They're like, right, buddy, we got you. The angels killed your girlfriend. He's like, yeah, they're coming. Gotta watch out for the angels. They're like, whoa, little guys. So he's doing what we like to call going insane. Because I'm guessing there's a little guilt about the fact that she died when she was with him, so he starts feeling sad. So this is the beginning of him going insane. Don't worry, he goes better. Boop. Stanza. 5. Turns out, he thinks the angels weren't working by themselves. They had partners in crime that worked together. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. The angels didn't work alone. Who was working with the angels' winds this entire time? Who was working with the angels the entire time? According to him, the things down under the sea. And neither the angels in heaven above.
Oh, the demons?
Nicely done. Nor the demons down under. So if you get to a point in your life that you think angels and demons are working together to fight against you, that's a sign that you're not healthy up here. When you're like,
The angels are coming to get you, and their friends, the demons. The angels and the demons, they're both coming after you.
that's not a sign of healthiness. Now the problem, once again, he's only 18, and at this point in his life, I'm sure people are like, hey, listen, dude, people die, it happens. You're going to move on and find someone else to love. And he goes, that's weird. But our love, it was stronger than the love of old people. Even if you're like, listen, someday you're going to find someone who's like,
No, I'll never find someone else. I love her so much.
he's like, well, listen, you're eventually going to get older, you're going to find more people. He's like, no, even old people, your love, I spit on it. The fact that his love is that strong. There will never be another person who he will love as much as Annabel Lee. At this point, he's fully committed to being crazy. The fact that his woman dying has essentially broken him out of love. 3 names?
If angels and demons work together, shouldn't you call 1-800-PSYCHO-ANGELS?
And that brings us to stanza 6.
What?
For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in the sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. This is the stanza that will stick with you. Now, we have to realize he tries. People keep telling him, move on, dude. Life goes on. He can't do it. He says every time he goes out at night and sees like the moon, what does he think of?
Annabelle.
He's like, I try. He's like, I go outside, I see the moon, I'm like,
Moon, I haven't seen anything that pretty since Annabel Lee.
and he gets all upset. He sees the moon, and then he sees the stars. He goes, what does he think of when he sees the stars? Annabel Lee. He's like, look at those twinkling stars. Look they're so twinkly, like Annabel Lee's eyes. And so he starts crying. So no matter what he does, he can't stop thinking about Annabel Lee. And because, and this is where we go back to this word, did you tell you what dissever means in there? When he says, even the angels and demons can never dissever him from the woman he loves so very, very, very much. Andrew?
They can never separate.
Nicely done. You can't separate me from the woman I love. She's dead. It doesn't matter. I still love her. Even if she's gone, I still love her. You can't stop me. I'm going to prove it to you. And this is how he proves it to her. At the very end, he decides that he's going to prove to these evil angels that he will keep being with the woman he loves. So at the very end of the poem, did you pick up what he decides to do to show the angels that just because she's dead, you can't stop him from loving the woman he's with? Forbes?
He goes into the thing and lays by her.
Nicely done. Every night, he breaks into her tomb and goes in there and sleeps next to her. To prove to these horrible angels that you can't separate them, he goes and lays down next to her and sleeps on a nightly basis.
Mr. Brovicast, that's really weird and creepy.
No, that's love. How many of you love someone enough to go sleep next to their dead body every night to prove to the angels that they're exactly? You're like,
No, I would never.
yeah, I know. Your love, not as strong as their love. Your love, their love. So that's why it's such a beautiful love poem. The fact that he proves to these angels that they're never. Now, there's 2 different ways to read the poem. One way says the fact that he breaks in there every night, sleeps next to her to prove to the angels that they're mean and evil. The other one goes, no, that's crazy. No one's that nuts. Instead, it's saying every night he dreams that he's dead and with her. He doesn't go into the tomb. He dreams that he's dead and that he's buried with her, and then spends the days being depressed and the nights dreaming he's with her. Which one is it? Poe goes, yes. He's like, what? I don't know. He was like, exactly. Like, he says whichever one you want it to be. How insane do you think he goes? Is it enough for him to snap and become fully crazy and go in there and sleep next to her? Or is it just a little crazy where you just dream every night that you are dead and with her? Now, 2 things to help you out with there. There is a refrain that gets repeated throughout the entire poem. And what's the refrain? Bratton?
Of the beautiful animal.
Nicely done. The idea that throughout the entire poem, you can't forget of the beautiful Annabel Lee. No matter what you're doing, of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And then you're walking along, and the beautiful Annabel Lee. And you're trying to have it, and the beautiful Annabel Lee. It's the idea that it keeps getting repeated and repeated into your mind. Not only that, but the rhyme scheme. There's a sound that gets repeated throughout the entire rhyme scheme. And what sound gets repeated in the entire rhyme scheme? Mickey?
E?
The E. Just like in Annabel Lee. Because Marie, you're doing E, for the E, the whole E, going to E. It's that, and that's supposed to be that repetition that beats into your brain like E, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so it's supposed to beat that into you about that level of craziness as it keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper into his brain. Free H.
So it's supposed to make you crazy?
Yeah. That's how the poem works, so that you know exactly how crazy he gets. The fact he's showing you that insanity as he goes through. Speaking of insanity, let's go back to poetry. Oh yeah. Throw that just because the end of the poem. With one more poetry term we're going to add up there. So there's be to turn to your poetry terms. Yeah.
That's a horrible poem.
It's awesome. It's a love poem. Best love poem ever.
Can we watch the video?
Sure, go home. Type in YouTube. Creepy Annabelle video. We're going to add one more to our list called a limerick. Number 12, limerick.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
You know what a limerick is?
Yeah.
Alright. Hang on, make sure you have the entry in there. Make sure, and we're going to write an example underneath it too, so that you give yourself a couple lines, because limericks are a little long. After that though. Alright, Mickey, what do you know about limericks?
Yeah. It's a type of definition. I mean, not definition. I mean, type of poem.
Yes.
And, it's like,
Do you have any lines are in it?
is it like,
Close.
8?
Wait, is it Limericks?
Lot limerick. Forbes.
6?
Close.
5?
Nice one. 5. I don't know how you got that. That was weird. Total of 5 lines in the poem. Plus, there's a set rhyme scheme. It always has the same rhyme scheme in every single limerick. Which is, the rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A. I'll show you examples in just a moment. It's humorous. Limericks should always be funny. I mean, not like knock knock, funny, but they should be amusing funny. It shouldn't be like, look at the wonderful bird that flows around. I think of trees. That's boring. They should at least be some kind, and usually they make fun of someone. Limericks typically make fun of someone, because making fun of someone is funny.
Which Robbie, I guess we.
I know, mojo up. Limericks, not mojo up.
Hashtag.
Limericks, mojo down.
Mojo down!
So, humorous poem, 3 long lines, 2 short lines. So go long, long, short, short, long. I'll show you some examples here. Long, long, short, short, long. The A, you see the rhyme scheme where it says A, B, B, A?
The
Rhyme
A's are
scheme,
the long
A, B, B, A. B's are short, A's are long. And now we're going to take a look at an example, or 3. Write down at least one of the examples, because you're going to want it. It'll make your life much easier tomorrow. First one. An artistic kid on the Globos. I couldn't put Globy, it didn't work out, so that's the Globetrotter team. I had to come up with Globos. Roll with me. An artistic kid on the Globos. To his art class he decided to go. His teacher said, that's not right. Your page is all white. He replied, it's a polar bear in the snow.
What?
Oh.
See, because the page was all white. He didn't do anything, because he's lazy, because he's a Globetrotter. He said,
Oh, that's true.
it's a polar bear in the snow. Now, if you go through there, it has your long lines, you're going to count your syllables. It should be between 8 and 10 syllables, and your short lines are between 5 and 7. So if you look at it, it goes, an artistic kid on the Globos, 9, that's between 8 and 10. To his art class, he decided to go, 10, that's between 8 and 10. So your long one, the teacher said, that's not right, 7 is between 5 and 7. Your page is all white, between 5 and 7. He replied, it's a polar bear in the snow.
59.
Last was a little long, but that's alright. I got close. So it should be goes, or oboes, go, and snow, all rhyme, and then right and white, all rhyme. So A, B, B, A. Mickey?
Okay, so about the voices, like,
Uh-huh.
like Mr. Hustle.
Hold that thought. Our next one. Limerick number 2. There once was a teacher at school who thought every student a fool. until he saw their test scores. He was then shown the door. In sorrow, he drowned in a pool. A, B, B, A. Long, long, short, short, long. And then you see it makes fun of the teacher. For number 3, I didn't come up with the 5th line. Let's see if you can come up with the 5th line. There once was an old man from Peru who dreamed he was eating his shoe. He awoke in the night with a terrible fright. Andrew?
It was he was lying on his pillow that night.
But it has to rhyme with Peru. And shoe. But you're on the right track. Wrong rhyme. Free H?
He was dreaming of a haiku.
He was dreaming of a haiku. Would work, but I'm not sure it goes along with this. How about this? Rhyme the word true.
Poo.
I'm telling you, the word true.
Oh, I know this way.
Daughtery?
To find out that it was true.
To find out that it was true. That would work.
That's the actual poem.
You know, to find out.
No, I
Your
read it
circle's
once. I
going
know what the
away.
poem is.
I know, so do I.
Wait, does Pooh Peru run?
Yeah. And we'll do one more. There once was a fellow named Tim whose dad never taught him to swim. Not into the rest of it there. So you'd have to come up with a rhyme B that would go there, rhyme B, and then back to rhyme A. I figured I gave you 2 straight up examples. And then one reason to fix that one.
All we're doing is copying exactly what he's doing. Just do one of those.
You have to write it down first. If you have it, write it down so you can read it to me.
Write down number 4.
Did you write it down, Mickey?
Number 4.
Oh no, I had a question.
What's your question?
It wasn't about like.
Oh, okay, not about
Right here.
Limerick.
Do you know when like the Calgary challenge is?
Right.
We're figuring out the date. We're most likely going to do the 22nd, the Tuesday before fall break.
Right.
For what?
The Charter Challenge.
What is that?
We'll talk about it when it gets closer. The Charter Challenge, I just said, we're going to talk about it when it gets closer.
I already know what it is. Mr. Foster.
How nice.
He had to watch us for that.
I'm sorry to hear that. Johnson.
Just
In 8th grade, and we're still teens.
Yeah, well, you're not kind of-ish. There's kind of teams, but you're also still part of the heroes. You still score for the heroes and stuff like that. Because 8th grade teams don't really do anything. They're embarrassing.
So they're technically
Wait,
like
What are the 8th grade teams?
Aces, champions, and
explorers.
thank you, explorers.
We'll be the champions.
But they don't even really go by names anymore. They don't even really do anything.
Do they do the Charter Challenge too?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
boring.
Pretty much. That's why I keep saying that.
My sister said they're not as big.
Go heroes!
That's why I keep trying to tell you.
Next year we'll be champions.
Pretty much just 7th grade.
Did you get it all?
Or
Did you guys, anyone come up? Anyone come up with one for the limerick that would work there? So, did you write it down?
Do you want to move on?
Can we make up one?
As long as you write it down and it works. And you wrote it down and it works.
I didn't write it down, but I got one in my head because I did that word.
You got
No, but it
a
doesn't
different
rhyme
one?
with Kim's.
This one's gonna work?
Doesn't have to rhyme.
Alright.
Peru,
Okay, maybe.
You want to move up there?
Right. Hey, so you're gonna finish this one for me?
Wait, how many does it have to be again?
For the A line, between 8 and 10. For the B line, between 5 and 7.
Okay. Okay, maybe.
Okay,
Okay, got it.
okay.
So for the big one.
We'll get it. Lauren.
So he decided to play with the ball.
So he decided to play.
Wait, no. No. So he played with the ball.
So he played with the ball. 6 good enough.
Okay. And then
Off the dock he did fall.
yeah.
Good.
And he called the
Then we have the last line.
and then
Yeah,
Whoa.
that doesn't rhyme. It has to rhyme with the 8.
That's the rhyme with the 10 and the swim.
the 8. 7, 4, 3.
Daughtery?
Okay, so. There was once a fellow named Tim,
Uh-huh. Whose dad
whose
never
dad never taught him to swim.
Really? You
He
took
went on a whim and thought he would win, but then he knew he was slim.
So what was your rhyme here?
Who went on a whim.
Whim?
Whim.
So that rhymes with swim?
Yes.
So it can't rhyme with swim. Remember A, B, B.
Who went on a
I
chance.
figured
See you tomorrow!
Chance.
Bring back your big book. Run away, run away, run away.